start. So now that we're recording. So what's everybody think so far?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely loving this book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't get very far. I'm not going to lie. It's okay. But I'm here. We only had to get to, we're not even at the guidepost yet. So you're fine. I'll catch up.
Yeah. Like I said, I think we're only up to like page 30 technically.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this is definitely getting into a book of kind of what I need to hear right now. It just seems like a book that was picked for like the perfect timing of things of, you know, getting past fears or pushing through them and then getting over. I mean, I know it's in the title of like letting go of what you think you're supposed to be, or, you know, I kind of take that as who cares what people think or say at times and just kind of like letting that go. But I think so far, just even being in 30 pages, I like the way that she writes too, and the way that she talks, like, and compares things. So,
I like how she gives definitions and then gives the examples.
Yeah.
I think that really I think for me, I learn better and I understand better when you pair it with something like that. So I think it's been helpful.
Yeah.
For how she does that. So I have to agree. I like her style.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I like how you said with more or less defining it and then giving stories that when she breaks it down in the parts of courage, compassion, and connection, that she puts it in terms that I would have never really thought of so much.
I like the part, like the preface got me. I felt like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a really good book. And then I talked to Dawn the other day, and the whole section when she talked about dig deep.
Yeah.
Like that was me. Like I was the person that I'm like, stop being a baby, dig deep. And then I would go so hard and get so exhausted. And she's like, you can't do that. You have to. And then I page marked it. She's like, these are the steps you need to get deeply rooted, introspective, like grounded, do what you can, and then relax about it. Don't push through it. And like nobody ever taught me to refuel yourself and then continue. Like it was like starve yourself, get through it, deal with it. Then you have to dig deep again because you're so run out from the last. So that got me right away. And then when she went into I didn't really understand what she was doing. I didn't know that she was explaining something and defining it. I just thought she was like storytelling, and I really related to that. And then I'm like, oh, she's explaining it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I like how I forget which part it's in. I know I underlined it, but I think it's relatable for so many people. Yeah, it's right in the beginning of like the wholehearted living.
Okay.
It says, no matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. You know, and it's going to bed that, yes, I'm imperfect and vulnerable and sometimes afraid, but that doesn't change the truth that I'm also brave, worthy, and of love and belonging.
Yeah.
And it's so much of, I think I see it, even though like I don't have the balance yet, but I'll get there soon with being a mom. That's kind of how I see like motherhood. So many moms think like I have to check this and this off my list. If I don't do it all, like, or even wives, like I'll make to-do lists, and if I didn't get it all done and Justin comes home and it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't vacuum. It's like, okay, you know, he doesn't care or anything like that. And I think also I see it that way because I know that's how my mom is. My mom always wants to have like 100% of her to-do list done, and if she thinks it hasn't been finished and completed, she's failed. But it's really recognizing both, like, that yes, I'm imperfect and I'm not gonna, but that doesn't mean that I'm not worthy and not like worth different things. So I like how she explains that out and balances that. That's, I think, where a lot of people, a big thing that a lot of people should read and recognize.
And I like how when she's talking about compassion and consciousness of choice, I don't know about you guys, but when I used to use the word lazy a lot. Like, I don't want to be lazy. I can't be lazy. I can't give up. I can't not do it. And when she said it's counterculture, right? So like, to be conscious in something, you're still all in, but you're being mindful about it, and you're not being like everybody else, how they're doing it. And I really liked that different perspective shift, because I wish I had an older sister tell me that years ago. You know, I feel like she's my older sister talking to me that I never had. I like that part.
Yeah, I think it goes along. I think that was in the same chapter, right? That she talked about courage too. And I really liked her spin on the way that she defined courage as being the ordinary courage versus the heroic concept that she gave. I thought that was really, I mean, I kind of felt like when you read this, like she's digging right into your own vulnerabilities and she's really making you think about the inner part of who you are already in just the first chapters, you know? But I really related to that whole ordinary courage of just, you know, how she put about, you know, getting into more touch of your own vulnerabilities and flaws and loving yourself. I think that's really important. I just like that part.
Yeah. And I like even how you said earlier with like defining stuff, how she digs down into like the root of the word. And changed over time, that we do see it as more of a heroic thing when really the root of it is heart, and how she defines it as to speak one's mind by telling all one's heart.
Yep.
When you really stop and think about it, it's like that is very courageous of you know, for somebody to do, but that's just not how we typically view it anymore.
I liked, Lauren, where you said the whole worthy part. Like, I almost wanted to print that and put it on my wall, because she's like, when she lists I'm worthy when I lose 20 pounds, I'm worthy when I can get pregnant, when everybody thinks I'm a good parent, I'm worthy when I make a partner, I'm worthy when my parents finally approve, worry now, you're worthy now, not if, not when, we're worthy of love, belonging now, right at this minute, as is.
I was going to say that, Carrie. It seems like this is going to be the book where you want to make a whole bunch of sticky notes and put them everywhere.
Oh, really? I was going to like print screen it.
Yeah, even some of the areas, like that was one of the ones that I had underlined, because I plan on passing this book along to my mom when I'm done. I told her that. I was like, I have a book for you, but I'm not done with it yet.
Did we get the part where she went to talk? Did you guys
PTO meeting?
Yeah. Did you guys?
The parent meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, I would be that naive person, right? Like, I would have done that and gotten so like irritated, wishing that she would have told me what I was doing. But I'm like, but not that part. There's another part. Did you guys get to the part where she was interviewed for, or no, maybe that was the audio I was listening to. No, it was this, where she was interviewed to do this segment, and the lady's like, well, what is your professionalism? She's like, I research how people get shamed. Are you guys there yet?
I don't know. I was gonna say.
I know that we read a part about how about the world and how it's like self-blaming. There was something about that part, the shaming, blame culture.
Yeah,
blame culture. But I don't remember reading anything about interview.
Yeah, I've heard the interview.
I think I'm too far advanced, but she was talking about how people were shaming. People were belittling her because she is a research of how people shame people and everything. And like the fact that she compiled so many things from just learning, like, was huge. Just like observing and learning everything from everybody. Like, she's not really like a professional. She just kind of like put things together from everywhere.
Have you guys talked about shaming at all? Before I hopped on.
Hey, Christina.
I got to drive to church to get my son from teen church right now. So sorry, I'm kind of in the dark.
Oh, you're good.
Did you guys talk about the shame chapter at all yet?
We haven't gotten into that too far.
I don't think we're there yet. I think I'm too far ahead.
Oh,
there are areas where she talks about it, but
do what?
I said I think there were some areas where she does talk about it, but I don't. Go ahead and because
I'm all over shame. Shame is like this year. I know you guys haven't seen me very much, but I have been majorly working on myself, trying to make myself a whole person again. And that has led me to going to a 12-step group called Life Recovery. And I go to therapy. And a lot of the things that I have going on that I kind of, my blinders have been taken off to, which, before having a breakdown last year and having some personal things, I'm oblivious to all of this shaming of myself. And then I've done a lot of work built around shame. And I absolutely love Brene Brown when it comes to education on shaming. I mean, she's just amazing. She really knows what the heck she's talking about. But I loved in there too how she was talking about, some people that like they don't realize that shame, it hides in like family secrets and, my father was an addict, but it's a family secret. Nobody talks about it. And then when you grow up as a child in that, you're kind of bred into shame, and you live your whole life that way, and you feel like I'm codependent. I don't know if you guys know about codependency at all, but codependency is basically an addiction to people pleasing, to making everyone happy. And when you feel like you can't make everyone happy, you're unworthy. So your worthiness is based upon someone else's feelings about you. And if you're not feeling loved by someone else, or you make someone else mad, or you disappoint somebody, you feel very unworthy, and then that's shameful. So I swear I got into that little snippet of her talking about shame, and I'm like writing all over my book, and I'm like, I just love when Google her, not Google her, but YouTube her on shame. She has some of the best speaking that I've ever heard on shame before. She's amazing.
It's Christina, it's the chapter, The Things That Get in the Way. So it's the next one. It's next week that I'm talking about. So sorry. But yeah, and Christina, I'm so glad you're going and whole and helping yourself and understanding like more of a perspective of things. Like I don't have any experience from that. So that has to be really hard.
It is very hard. Like I do a 12-step group now. It's a biblically based 12-step group. And I'm uncovering so much stuff that I did not even recognize about myself. And it's very, very painful. Like ugly cries, just getting it all out there, me and God. But at the same time, it's healing. It is so healing. And, in doing that, sometimes I can't do other things that I would like to do, but it's the slow progression, and the progress, not perfection, has become like my mantra. It is my mantra, progress, not perfection. I have a sponsor, which I don't know if you guys really know anything about recovery programs. I go to a program that would be for anyone who has any kind of addiction, not just like alcoholism or something like that. And you get a sponsor and you work steps. Well, I got a sponsor and I work steps. And it's just, you know, I share things with her that I wouldn't share with most people. I mean, we all have our things that we feel ashamed of. But that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't mean that you're not worthy of someone's love, of, you know, and most importantly,
Uh-oh.
Lost her.
She froze.
Hi, driving.
Yeah.
She was on a roll, too.
Yeah. I feel bad that it cut off or froze.
I think this is a good end of the day book for me. Like, I actually look forward to reading it before bed. Like, you know, some books make your brain turn on. I think this one relaxes me a little bit. I read it the other morning when I was had a couple minutes just to it calms me down a little bit. So that was cool.
I think she
Might,
it froze on us, Christina, or you froze.
I'm telling you, we don't have good service, and well, I live by Dawn. We have terrible service. But yeah, I absolutely love this book already. And it just goes along with everything else I'm doing. So, and I'm loving that I'm doing it with you guys, because I miss you guys. So.
Oh, I miss you too. It's a super good month. Super good month. She there?
Yeah, it's so long. But that's like I said, even at the beginning, I feel like, at least for me, and it sounds like for Christina too, that this book is coming around at a good time in life, and of like this month of just, well, even just like being the new year.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to help in a lot of areas and aspects of, you know, obviously your personal life, but, you know, part of me at least always still, I read it so much that it helps me grow as a person, but, you know, you still take that business side from it a little bit. And I think that this is like helping me a little bit more with the fear of, you know, talking to people, inviting people, just feeling like more confident in what I'm doing as a coach. And I actually just today had somebody even message me, like, you know, saying how knowledgeable I was and like what I'm doing. And she's like, you know, you're awesome. You're definitely my go-to person. And, you know, this and that. I was like, you think I know what I'm doing? I sound knowledgeable with a lot of this stuff, at least right now, but.
You know what's cool? I think that they're complimenting you of your living out loud. Like, you are a testimony of you're enjoying life, you're a new mom, you're being transparent, asking for advice, adjusting, going forward. Like, it's a good thing, you know? It's really good. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm just looking for something that I read the other day on the plane.
I was reading this to my parents' house, and my parents' house holds like a special place in my heart. When I grew up, I had a Christian family that lived next door, and we lived like in the woods. Like, I didn't have those were my neighbors, and they had a family of 12 kids. And when she was talking about guideposts in here, I kept getting these like memories of guideposts, and I'd see the fronts of them, and I remember they were like a newsprint, and I'm like, where in the world did I read guideposts? And the whole way to my parents' house, I'm like, I get home, I go to the bathroom at my parents' house, and I'm like, I know where I saw guideposts. And growing up, my neighbors would have them in the bathroom. So whenever you went to their house and used the bathroom, they had guideposts, and you would read them because they were in the bathroom. But they had a subscription to these guideposts. So when she was talking about them, I'm like, I love that. And, you know, looking back, they were the really strict family, and they loved each other all the time. My parents would just make fun of them because how can you have like 14 people in a family and all love each other all the time? And now looking back, and I'm like, they got it. Like, they understood what it's taking me like 30 years to get. You know, I'm like, So I love that she chapter named her things guideposts. Like, I'm excited to read them. Have you guys ever seen a guidepost before?
Aren't they like the little Reader's Digest books?
Yeah, and they're like pretty, like black and white. Mm-hmm.
When I left my ex-husband and went home that drastic weekend and came back here, my mom sent me back with a bag full of guideposts.
Really?
To read. Yeah. And one of them, and the reason that she gave them all to me was, one, I think, to get rid of them, but two, the main thing was that there was a book, one story in the guidepost that was God, I can't remember the author right now, but it was a book that was Love's Not Supposed to Hurt. And I read the insert to it in the guidepost and ended up getting the book and ended up reading through it. So yeah, I'm familiar with the guideposts. And then I ended up getting a really great book out of that after trying to learn to love myself back again and all of that through that whole situation. So yeah, guideposts are cool. They're like little baby Reader's Digest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the next chapter, like shortly after the parts that you quoted earlier, Carrie, or earlier, Carrie, of the I'll be worthy when blah blah blah. I feel like I really connected it's on page 25 when she starts talking about the difference between fitting in and belonging. And again, this is where she, like, you don't think about it so much until she clearly defines it, of that there really is a huge difference. And this is one area where personal development, I feel, has helped me in, just like growing up and learning things from time to time. But I think for so long, at times there was, the trying to fit in aspect. And we talk so much about like finding your tribe, and you're not going to find them if you're not really being you. And so when you find them, that's more of like your belonging aspect. And even like our team, like I feel like I belong to our team. Like we all belong together. We're, we have these connections. That's why we read these books and why we do these calls and everything like that. When before, I just remember even a few years ago, I started my job that I'm in now like 3 years ago. And when I first started, I came from a job where I had like, I was so close to so many of my coworkers, like, and I'm still close with them, like I have, I've been to all of their weddings and that, and, just different life changes. And so when I came to this job, I was trying to find that connection again with people, and I just was never finding it. And so at times I would try to like fit in, but it always just felt awkward and uncomfortable. And I just didn't feel like me. Like I was doing things where it was just, I felt like I was coming across more as like a prude, but it's just because I was so uncomfortable, because it's like, this just isn't me. Like, this isn't my thing. And like finally just being okay with that. Like I've, gotten more to the points of like, I'm okay that that's not my personality and that you're not my people. And I don't, just because we work together doesn't mean that you have to become my best friend. And so I like that she dives into that of, like explaining the difference, because it's just so far when I read this, and I think it's because I know I'm going to have a daughter, I just want to like teach her this book, like throughout her life. Like, hey, if you don't fit in, like find the people who like you just belong to. And, I think that's why I'm seeing this book in a different light too, is for how I would want her to see it.
And it's so weird for me because the last like 4 years, all the people in high school that I wish I would have known and talked to more and been around, they're like my customers and my coaches now. Like some people from my old high school that I hardly ever spoke to because our class was so big. I mean, I keep saying, I wish I knew you better. Like it's weird we're attracted to each other now, but I don't think I would have been ready then. Like,
yeah.
I didn't get it. Like I tried to be that person who was friends with everybody and, talked. But Lauren, I wanted to try to see the electronic version. Your page, when it says at the top, hold on a minute, it's the next page. Deep breath. Defining moments. When it's bolded, defining moments. What page is that for you? You see that? Like bolded, defining moments? Or digging deep, bolded? That's like my page 26, 27, but it's probably not that for you guys.
No.
Okay.
No.
Never mind. Be nice if they set it up the same. Sorry, Laura.
Yeah, digging deep is like page 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
because like the preface and everything is different of how they set it up for you. Maybe like the preface is page 1, and for us it's like Roman numeral.
Okay. Got it.
Was there any other big chunks in the book that people took away, at least in these chapters? We have like 10 minutes left if we want.
Jamie, what parts did you read? Did you read the preface or anything? That was pretty long.
Yeah, that's about as far as I got. It's been I'm still trying to finish my last personal development book. And I'm one of those people that I hate not to finish a book before I start a new one.
Yeah.
What was the last one?
I Am That Girl.
Oh,
That.
Lauren, isn't that the one that you had?
Yeah, I just finished that one.
I wanted to borrow that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. How much more do you have left in that book, Jamie?
I'm in Resilience right now.
Okay, because I know the last chapter, it's like, what, 8 chapters or something like that? I mean, they're longer. And like
They are long chapters.
how they're done up. Whatever the last chapter is in the book, though, like, she really does a great job of, like, throwing it all together. And, like, I read it before bedtime, and then I couldn't go to bed. I was, like, so empowered.
Wow.
I was like, oh, should have read this in the morning.
Eh.
Normally when I do read them, but yeah.
No, it's really good. I feel like the pace is good enough to where we're not stressing about getting it done and reflecting. And I like being able to read about something and then put it into action. And I think this book will give us that opportunity.
Yeah, breaking down with the guideposts and everything. That's kind of what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
And it is a quick read. Like, I read my whole part on a flight. So.
I loved your pictures.
It was a great time. It was sad coming back. I was extremely ill my first day, but it was fine.
Oh,
Man. Good stuff.
All worth it.
what chapters do we have next?
So next time we go from the things that get in the way up until, I want to say only like guidepost 2.
Yeah, guidepost 2.
Yeah.
The
And then-
31 to 55.
Perfect.
Yep. And then Jamie, we have the next, and then we have the following week. So that would be the cultivating self-compassion on.
Did somebody sign up for next week? I don't remember. Did
Is that Carrie?
Christina signed up for next,
Christina.
and then Denise and Jamie, and then myself, and Dawn needs
Yeah.
to go somewhere, so I put her with me, but wherever she wants to go.
Okay. Well, I'm loving the book, ladies, and I'm glad that we'll do. I mean, this one's real simple, I think, to get through and go like how we're doing it, that it's just quick and weekly, and we'll just get rid of this book, because that's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to get through like 2 books a month, but have them be different. One be like more personal development for me, and then maybe another one's like either the business side of things or, you know, whatever, even if it's like one read and one audio.
Right. And then you get mixed up and you start talking about the wrong ones.
Yeah, that's
My brother shared with
personal
me.
development of like myself, and then I need one that's like how to organize your life or whatever, how to do your finances. Like, they need to be totally different.
Yeah, no, yeah. My brother shared with me his Audible app. Have you guys heard of Audible before? And so I'm listening to one of that on there, and then I'm reading this one. So when I quoted what I said earlier, I'm like, shoot, I hope I'm not mixing. But I didn't. But it's a cool app, like where we each take a turn buying a book on it every other month, and then we both listen to the same book, and then we talk about it at the end of the month. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. All this stuff with technology. Well, thanks for leading it, Lauren. And Jamie, don't feel bad. I want to read that book after Lauren's done. I told her she brought it to DC. She was reading it in bed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm done with it now, so I can lend it to you for when.
No rush, Mama. No rush. All right, ladies, I'm going to try to kiss the kids before they hit the sack here.
All right, ladies. Have a good night.